Let me welcome on board Mr. Irfan Razack, the CMD at Prestige Group, joining in the show right now. Irfan, hi, good morning. Great to have you on the show as always. Let's first talk about this ambitious plan of yours of expanding into the Mumbai region. Tell us a little bit more details about whether or not you've already identified projects. Are you going to go solo? Are there going to be partnerships?
Good morning. I mean, yes, everybody's interest is what is Prestige doing in Mumbai. But this is not just that has happened overnight. We've been working on it for the last couple of years or more. And we've identified some very, very nice locations, very nice sites, both residential and commercial. And the happy news is that we have even got the plans done. Now, recently there was this, we got this rebate on the premiums. So we managed to take advantage of that also. So we've got two large office projects. That one is in, which is called the Liberty Towers, which is going to change the skyline of Mumbai and be an iconic development. That's in Mahalakshmi. And that will be about 2.3 million square feet of office space, including some 400,000 square feet of amenity stroke retail space. Then we have the BKC 101, that is in BKC. There we've got two separate pieces of land, but attached to each other. And even these plans are approved now and just waiting for the last mile of approvals to come in. Even that's totally about 3 million plus square feet. So that will be done in about in a phased manner, maybe 2 phases and completion. And there's a lot of interest for the office space there. I believe that these two will be iconic developments in terms of product, in terms of location, and in terms of the offering. Of course, what we intend doing is we intend retaining these, developing these assets, retaining them, rentalizing them, and maybe at some point of time monetizing them also. That's the strategy. Then we do have the residential segment, and it's been in the news. We've taken a property in Mulund, and that is a large one which was in NCLT, and that we've now that the transaction is fully fructified and now completed. Even the fees we've paid as of last month, this month. I mean, we're still in August. So even that's done, and the contractors are on board, and hopefully we will start construction in full scale. Customers who had already bought into this project, those customers can take a sigh of relief. They'll get their home soon. Plus, we'll be launching much more over there. That we've named that project Prestige Cosmos, though there's an Aristo and Belenza Tower where customers have already bought in. Then we've got the Prestige Jasdan Classic. That was one of the first projects which we entered into in Mumbai. Even there, the construction is going on at pretty healthy space. Though we haven't yet launched these projects as yet in the Mumbai market, we intend doing it after all the necessary approvals were in place. Now they're in place. Hopefully September, October, we should do the launch once the RERA comes in. And apart from that, we've got something happening in Bandra and South Mumbai also. So it's all in all quite a lot of stuff happening. But we are not getting very aggressive, like you said. It's just a very measured move, very planned and calculated move. So Mumbai, I believe, is a market which we can take advantage of, where there is a space for good developments. There's a space for a good product. And we believe that we would like to make a difference in the offerings. And we also believe that the customers will have that confidence and invest in our product as we go along. Apart from that, we are in Noida. Noida, we've got 2 projects, both awaiting approvals. Once that comes in, those also will be really large ones. And of course, we had tied up this hotel and the office space in Aero City. The construction work is now full underway. L&T is doing that job for us. And even that, I believe, by 2024, it will be up and running and it will be trading. So these are the gamut of things that we've expanded in the cities like Mumbai and Delhi, Noida. Of course, we are continuing to do what we are doing in the southern cities, which is our base, where we have got a strong foothold. And I think we've got a slate of projects that we are going to launch, and these will keep coming in. as we go along, and it's going to be
Right.
business as usual for us there. And I believe that even there's a lot of
Sure.
traction, there's a lot of interest.
Right. Mr. Razak, I'm going to come to the southern parts of the country where your core is in just a bit. But firstly, just focusing on the Mumbai market, I understand that you have a plethora of offerings for the Mumbai market. But could pricing and the demand uptick be also a key reason? The fact that we've all seen as to how residential sales have only been on an uptick, partly because of also the measures that were taken by the Maharashtra government. And also on prices, do you believe that Mumbai market, if prices were to go forward, is going to be perhaps the first where you will see the escalation trickle in?
See, honestly, when we got into the Mumbai market, we got in where we are on a sticky wicket. Okay, it wasn't all hunky-dory, but we knew that there was, because it was the financial capital of the country, we believed that there was a lot of potential. It's just that we got lucky, and a whole lot of concessions came in terms of approval processes. A whole lot of concession came in for stamp duty for buyers, and then the mood changed. So we have to capture on the mood. And I'm not going to be very, I would say, aggressive on the pricing part, because I always believe that there is a certain price as product demands, and we always have to churn capital. We can't get stuck on the prices and then again do slow sales. At our company, I always believe is that we need to churn capital, we need to turn around, and at the same time make enough profit for the company. It's not that we want to lose, but at the same time we need to see that the product that is offered is at a reasonable price. It also attracts the customers, and the customers also get into the transaction quickly, and they believe that they've got a deal. So that's a balance that we have to do. We have to see that our bottom line is not affected, and at the same time the offering to the customer is attractive, so that the sales can happen. So that's our strategy. That's always been our strategy. And I believe that will work in Mumbai too.
Markets tend to draw parallel. Every time there is boom in IT, it means good news for Bangalore and Bangalore real estate companies. There is a boom time, sir, in IT. The kind of numbers which we are getting in terms of wage hikes and hiring, this is unprecedented. Has last 6 months translated into greater demand and more sales for your Bangalore projects because of that IT connection?
I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. You're right, absolutely right. As soon as the lockdown got removed and we started getting back to normal life, or near normal life, I would call it, the demand has picked up big time. And by God's grace, it's doing very well, especially the Bangalore market. Any new launch is being looked at and it's getting lapped up. Again, it's the offering, it's probably the confidence in the company that also has an effect. And I believe that everybody is doing good work. And Bangalore, the residential sales are doing, whichever company has been working in that space. And we too just now had a launch recently, and that came out with good numbers, and we are very kicked about it.
When you say that demand has come back, has pricing also made a comeback? So while demand has come back, commodity prices have also gone higher. So, it tends to equate, it tends to equalize. The real gains for a builder would come in when demand is back and pricing power also goes higher.
Absolutely right. The commodity prices have gone up. Every single input that goes into a construction project, the price has gone up, including labor. And the pricing also has to proportionately go up. But if it goes up proportionately, still the bottom line is protected, and the customer also gets the offering. The moment we get into the greed mode and try to increase the price too high, then the trouble starts. So we've always had that balance. See that your bottom line is protected. See that you don't get hit by all these increases. and very gradually increase the price in such a way that your profits are not eroded. At the same time, the offering is good to the customer. So that balance, I think all Bangalore developers have taken the same stance. And that's the reason we are pretty successful. And that's the reason why we are also doing volumes.
Okay. Now, the other aspect is that we've seen a big consolidation in the sector because of RERA. Bombay, out of, let's say, 4-5 dozen builders, only 1 dozen good builders are left. Bangalore also, I'm sure the trend is same. But what we understand, and when I speak to my friends who are in the industry, they are saying that, look, the Swami Fund, the new sovereign fund, is now lending quite aggressively, which means smaller and medium-sized builders are also getting loans. Do you think that the consolidation which happened in the sector has already happened, and now we could actually see coming back of the smaller and the medium builders?
See, RERA has been one big, good legislation. I would say that this legislation has brought in a lot of confidence amongst the buyers. There is a certain, confidence that the buyers have that once it's a property is being registered by RERA, got a RERA number, at least the developers also will be responsible. So this confidence building was very necessary. And this has helped in seeing that sales also pick up. And I would say one of the reasons why the sales uptick is there across the country is because of the confidence that RERA has brought in. Yes, see, we want all types of developers to survive. It's not just a big or small. It's only a question of who's doing the good work, who's doing work professionally and delivering the product as promised on time, as per the quality that was promised. So if that is maintained, and I believe there's space for everyone to survive. Yeah, there was a sort of deficit in the capital. There was a shortage of capital because NBFC suddenly pulled the plug because there was too much money chasing earlier, and that money stopped. And now the new funds the government has set up, the Swami funds and some other stress funds that have come, that is helping the developers who were stuck, because it's not only the developers who were stuck, it was also the homeowners. All their life savings were stuck there. They had taken home loans, they had to pay EMIs, and then there was no sight of their home which they had invested in. Now, this has helped. The Swami Fund has helped, the stress funds have helped. Even the developers who had gotten into trouble sincerely are now trying to see that they not only deliver to their customers, they come back and climb back into the market and bring in that brand erosion that had happened to them earlier. So there is space for everybody. And I believe this is the thing that going forward, if you start doing work properly, professionally, whether it's a one project you do at a time or 20 projects at a time, the overall thing is you must have the bandwidth to do it and do it properly and keep the customer confidence. Apart from this, if there's one more legislation that needs a bit of a tweaking and changes, is the GST, which is now the input credit has been taken off and it's a 5% straight pass through to the government. And if the GST input credit is given by the government, I believe that also will sort of bring in much better pricing strategy and a more affordable for offering to the customers. Because currently in this regime, the entire cost of GST on construction cost is become cost, and that adds up to the overall pricing. That's a straight 18% hit that the customer also has to take and the builder also has to take, and overall pricing that gets that much more. Apart from the inputs, that's a big input that has gone in. And if the input credit comes in, I believe that will be a big, big game changer for this market. And the overall, properly the overall direction that the government wants to do of housing for all will get sort of fructified, because you need to do that, and it's not something that is selfish interest or self-centered. It just brings the cost down.
Okay. Well, very interesting indeed. Lots of changes in the realty space, and demand as well is kicking in full gusto. All the very best then, Mr. Razack, for all your future endeavors and projects, your forays as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on ET Now.
Thank you so much.